This first sale is pretty shocking in my opinion. It's just this little 3-inch PVC figure of Where's Waldo. I had it listed for $20 plus shipping, sold for $16 plus shipping on an offer. Took about 5 months to sell, but I got this for literally 2 to 5 cents. So awesome flip here. Pretty self-explanatory here. We've got a PlayStation 4 controller that sold for $20 plus shipping. Picked this up for $5 at a thrift store, and it sold in under 3 weeks. Probably made about $12, $13 off of this. Not bad. I always make a little bit of money off of the shipping and then the fees and things like that. So good flip here. I'm actually genuinely shocked I haven't sold this PS5 controller yet. It's been up for over 2 months. I guess my price must just be $5 too high. I may edit that later and it'll probably sell when I edit it down. We've got some Bose wiring here, sold for $17 plus shipping. This was actually listed for over 9 months. I just had it priced too high, and after 2 markdowns, it finally sold for around $17 plus shipping. I got this along with the speakers that it actually goes to, plus 2 others right there, and 2 other cords that have already sold. I bought all of that stuff for $10, and I have already made over $500 from it. This Denon amplifier, of course, it's on the bottom of the stack. No worries, it's just a small stack. It sold for $115. Got it at a thrift store for $8. This one has also been listed for over 1 year. This was, I had this all the way back in the St. George house, and it finally sold. I listed it probably too high at $200. Then I marked it down to $150, and then someone offered me $115, and I took that. You always want to keep your eye out for all clad. This was sold for $45 plus $20 in shipping. It's not going to cost me $20 to ship. I picked this up at a thrift store for $3, and it sold in under 2 weeks from listing it. Just a small little flip here. I got this Case Logic 15 cassette holder from Rad Picker on First Class Treasures for $3.50 shipped. It sold for $12 plus shipping, and it actually sold in under 2 weeks. We have what I like to call a Peyton Manning bat because his favorite audible call was Omaha. So we sold this Louisville Slugger Omaha. This is the S19. It's a drop 10, so it only sold for $20. If it was a drop 3, this bat would be worth over $100, maybe over $200. This I had listed too high. This has been in my store for over 1 year because I did not sell it last baseball season. Now that baseball season is back in full swing, sold it for $20. I got this for $5 at a thrift store. Biggest flip of the day for sure. This TaylorMade Sims hybrid golf cover only sold for $7 plus shipping, but I got all of these plus a huge amount more. That also sold on Poshmark. We'll talk about that in a second. I got all of these at the Goodwill bins for, I don't know, 19 cents each, and they're all selling between $7 and $15. And because of the weather warming up, I am selling 1 to 3 every single day, so it's keeping the cash flow in the business, even though I'm only making $3 to $6 each time. I guess when they sell for $15, I'm making over 10, but yeah, plus shipping. I always make $1 or $2 off the shipping as well, so definitely a good flip. If you can find a ton of these for super cheap, I definitely recommend it, even though the price is very low. Picked up this Sony Walkman at a thrift store for $3. This was listed for $30, and it took just under 3 months to sell. I had it listed just a bit too high. If I would have listed this at $25, it probably would have sold within a week. But I put it up for $30, and it sat for over 2 months, just under 3. Someone sent me an offer for $20 plus shipping, and I took it. Again, I got it for $3. I went to an estate sale, and the guy who passed away was definitely a Porsche collector. I picked up a ton of different cars, including a ton of Porsches that I've already sold on First Class Treasures, anywhere between $2 and $15. And then I also sold this on eBay for $12.87 plus shipping. It was listed for under 2 weeks, and my cost of goods into this is below 30 cents because I got a ton of stuff from that estate sale for only $30. This is really sweet. I love selling stuff like this. I got this Walking Liberty silver coin. Sold for, I think, $33 on eBay. I got this actually off of a junk drawer lot on Mercari that I bought for $40, and I have been able to sell already 7 items from that lot This is the 7th. Plus I have 4 or 5 more listed. So we'll say my cost of goods on this is $3. And I bought it off of Mercari of all places. This is a buy I probably wouldn't do again. I picked up this spider paintball gun. You have to label it as a paintball painter on eBay or else it'll get taken down. It's only sold for $16 plus shipping. I only got it for $2, but I listed it at like 40, which was the going rate, but it just kept sitting and sitting and sitting. And people were giving me a ton of offers around the $10 to $20 mark. I finally accepted a $16 offer after this had been listed for 7 months. Happy to see it go, and I probably won't pick up another one in the future unless it's worth over $100. Another very small flip here. This is a Hot Wheels Porsche Carrera GT. This only sold for $5 plus shipping, but I overcharged a little bit on the shipping, so we'll make about 80 cents on that as well. I got this for 75 cents. I bought, I think, 25 cars from Rad Relics on First Class Treasures, and I got all 25 of them for about 18 bucks, and we'll be selling all of them between $5 and $15, so we'll make some good profit off of it. I told you guys these pieces would move fast. I did a video picking them live for you guys, and I got this and a smaller pink one for $5 each. The pink one already sold for $40. This one just sold on Mercari the very next day, so both of them sold in under a week. Very, very good profit. Super blessed to be able to find these items and sell them quick. Sold this Sony CyberShot on Mercari for $40 plus shipping. This one had been listed for 9 months, just listed it a little too high. Once it got marked down 10% and offers sent out to likers on Mercari, it sold. I got this for about $3. I bought 14 Michael Kors watches on an eBay listing for just about $130. So my cost of goods on all of them are about $10. This just sold for $43 plus shipping on Mercari. It was listed for 3 months. As previously mentioned, we sold this Callaway Epic Hybrid golf cover. Sold for $7 plus shipping on Poshmark. Again, got this for 19 cents. Happy to see these trugging along. Once spring starts, I definitely want this bucket to be empty or close to empty because these don't sell very well outside of winter. But every once in a while, you still get a spring sale on these. These are some Oakley goggles. I got them for $2. They were listed for more than 7 months, and they just sold for $18 plus shipping, I believe. But yeah, it was 80 degrees 3 days ago. It is 39 degrees this morning, so you never know with the weather in Utah. I got this vintage toy here. I got it for only $3, $2 plus $1 shipping on First Class Treasures. I believe this one came from CW Collectibles, and it sold for $15 plus shipping. This one was only listed for about 2 weeks. I got this anime book, not sure if I'm pronouncing it completely correctly, but I got these off of an eBay buyout. I just type in estate lot, and I see auctions that are ending. I've already explained this before, but I got over 100 pieces for $88. This one was only listed for 1 day. Actually, I think it was like 3 or 4 days. And it sold for $30 plus shipping. Sold this TI-84, and man oh man, she fits like a glove. Check that out. I listed this for $45. I immediately got like 3 offers for $30 in the first 9 minutes of listing it. And then it sold for full price in about 35 minutes. So I hear a lot of commenters on TikTok especially, but even here on YouTube saying you guys can't sell these. But every time I get them, they sell in under a week. So just make sure that you are pricing them correctly and you have the right title structure, and they move very quickly every time. I sold these last 2 Pelco cameras here. I got 6 of them over a year ago. Honestly, it might be a year and a half ago. I've sold 4 of them, and then these are the last 2 that sold for $38 each. I got all 6 of them for $6 each, and the other 4 all sold for above 50 bucks. Golf head covers are awesome. They always keep the store moving and grooving, as I like to say. They typically only sell between $6 and $10. This one is for a tailor-made 1R driver, and it actually sold for $15 plus shipping. So someone paid over 22 bucks for this. Always a great snag, and I got a ton of these at the Goodwill bins for about 19 cents each. Sold this Panasonic remote for 20 bucks. I had it listed for $25 plus shipping. It was listed for over 3 months. Someone offered me 20 bucks. and we sold it. It is a VCR TV universal remote. Just got to look up the model numbers every single time you see them. Some of them are worth nothing. Some of them are worth 20 bucks plus shipping. Ultra fast money here. I got this for $3 at a thrift store. Sold for 10 bucks plus shipping the day I listed it. Not a huge profit, made a few dollars. If you do this every day, multiple times a day, you'll be a millionaire in under a year. Not under a year, especially if you have bad spending habits, but you can become a millionaire making $4 at a time over and over and over and over and over again. A lot of people do it. Sold this Bosch compact for $85 plus a good amount in shipping. That'll make a few bucks on the shipping as well. Got this for $10 at a thrift store and it sold in under a week. I think this was listed for 6 days. And yeah, great purchase. I got this on a rack of a new rack that rolled out. Other resellers were there. For some reason, I wasn't even the first one to the rack, and other electronic resellers were there, and they passed on it because it was super dirty. But we just cleaned it up. It still isn't even in perfect clean condition, and we sold it for 85 bucks. Sold a couple of cool pieces here. First off, this is a Chevrolet hubcap. I sold it for $20 plus shipping. There are 9 of these listed. There were 9 of these listed and 0 sold. Everyone had them listed for like $40. I think the lowest I saw was $35. So I threw mine up for 20 bucks and it sold almost immediately within 5 days. I got this for 50 cents at an estate sale. Very similar situation here. This is the Great Match Ruffian Vintage Horse Pin. 9 listed, only 1 sold, and it was 2 of them. There's another variation of this, and so the 2-pack sold for 40 bucks. Then there was a ton of these. I actually think it was more than 9. I think there's like 17 listed. I listed this. Everyone else had it listed for $20 to $40 for just 1 pin. I listed mine for 17 bucks, and it sold in under 3 days. I sold this Philips warm-up light, not this one, the one right behind it. It's shinier. Sold it for $35 plus shipping on Mercari. I actually got this off of Dibdit for $7 from Second Love, and it sold in 2 weeks. I sold this Logitech MX Anywhere 3 on Mercari for $25 plus shipping. Got it at a thrift store for $2. This one was listed for under a week. This Microsoft ergonomic keyboard sold for a little less than normal on Poshmark. Went for $27 plus shipping. This one was listed for 2 or 3 months. These typically go for 40 bucks, but someone got a good deal on it. I'm only $3 into it. Sold another Coco Motion on Poshmark for $27 as well. This is another one of those items that you want to see gone before it really warms up. We did pretty good. I think I found 26 of them this year, and now we only have 5 left, so we did great. Sold through the majority of them. I got this one for $6 and it sold quick. Sold this purple InStyler on Poshmark. I can't remember if it was 25 or 35, but judging by the fact that it's purple, it's probably 35. Comp up on the screen. Sorry guys, I was a little out of breath. We took photos of this, so this is the expectation that the customer is going to be receiving, but this is a little dirtier than I like. So I'm going to clean this off a little more before we send it out. And yeah, great flip. Got this for $7. Sold in under a month. You guys just saw a lot of sales from 2 days. It is now Monday morning, so I'm going to show you 3 more days worth of sales, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Let's hop into them. First up, we have this Magnavox remote. This is for a DVD VCR combo player. Sold for $17, $16 plus shipping. And I actually charged the 12-ounce rate of $6.87. It should only cost about $4.40 to ship out, so I basically sold it for $19 plus shipping. We've got an international sale here. This is a Caravella watch, nice watch here. I got it for probably about $1.50 in a bulk buyout, and it sold for $20 plus shipping international. I got this Boston Celtics F-150 Hot Wheels diecast car here. Actually, I don't think this is Hot Wheels. No, this is just licensed NBA. This sold for $17 plus shipping. It was only listed for under a month. I got this off of First Class Treasures for $2 plus $1 in shipping. So 3 into 17 plus shipping is great, especially if it's selling in under a month. I'm really enjoying selling these cars. The Boston Celtics just won their first playoff game. This sold the day before the playoffs started. I'm sure there's a correlation there. And yeah, great stuff. This is by Ertl, E-R-T-L. Sold this Fitbit for $23 plus shipping. I believe it's this one. Yep, the Fitbit Surge. Got this at a thrift store for $5. I thought it was worth like $40. Turns out it wasn't worth as much, but 5 into 23 is a great flip. Got some Soundcore headphones. Got these for $2.50 and they sold for 25 bucks. I got these from a casino buyout, which I should be getting another run of product from sometime this week. They said end of this month, so I'll be happy to get some more headphones and watches and things like that from them. I'm usually able to get them between $1 and $5 depending on what the item is, and yeah, really great stuff. I got this Bobbi Brown makeup from an eBay lot buyout. My cost of goods is about $1.80 into this. Sold for $16 plus shipping to an international market. This took over 6 months to sell, but Bobbi Brown, great makeup to look for. I've already talked a lot about this buyout on eBay because these items are selling extremely fast. We just have 2 animes here. I listed them for $69.69 plus shipping, and they sold really fast. These typically only sell for $40 for the set, but because I put it at $69.69, someone thought it was funny and bought it full price. I got these denim pink headphones. They're over the ear for running. They sold. It took a while to sell. I only got them for $1 at a yard sale. So it took about 9 months for those to sell, but we'll definitely take those profits any day of the week. So far, everything today is super easy to ship. That is about to change. As you guys are going to see here, my wife is going to be super happy. We sold this Wabelco electric skillet. Let's see if I can grab this. It sold for $33 plus $33 in shipping. Should only cost about 17 bucks to ship. And this was $7 at a thrift store. Took over a year to sell. This is a Select Sleep mattress thing. It regulates the temperature of the bed, I guess. Sold for $120 plus shipping in under 2 weeks. Got this at a thrift store for 10 bucks and it sold rather immediately. Sold the Samsung Blu-ray player for $45 plus shipping. It doesn't even have the power cord, but I tested it with a spare. Sold in like 8 months. Probably would have sold in 2 months if I included a power cord. I'll probably do that next time. But got this at a thrift store for 5 bucks, so great money. I got this Dymo label printer for an incredible price of just $2. Holy cow, what a price. $2 at a thrift store. I listed it for $115 and it sold immediately. Like, we're talking 3 minutes or less. Sold for full asking price. This one also doesn't have a power cord. If it had the power cord, it probably would have went for $150. I'll be putting the comp up on screen. As you guys can see, there's this white humidifier right there. Sold it for $50 plus shipping. I had both of them listed for $69.87. So I took $20 off on an offer. I got both of them at a Goodwill for $4 each. We've got a wired Xbox 360 controller that sold for $30 plus shipping. These wired ones actually sell for more than the wireless ones. So picked this up for $5, sold in under 2 weeks. A very long time ago, back when I was in St. George, over a year ago, I got, I think, 40 of these raw sugar deodorants from TJ Maxx for just $1.99 each. I have finally sold the last one for $25 plus shipping. These are just low print, hard to come by, I guess, and people really want them. So someone paid $25 plus shipping for this, and I have sold 40 of them over the last year and a half. Sold this Jeep Liberty taillight for $22 plus shipping on an offer. This was listed for about 7 or 8 months. Got it at $1 from a yard sale. Happy to see it go for just for a decent profit. I'm not the best hat salesman in the world, but I did sell these San Miguel Beer Vintage Philippines hat. Got it at a thrift store for $5. Listed it for $20, accepted an offer for $15 plus shipping. Not a huge profit, but I'll definitely take it. It was only listed for 3 weeks. Sold another InStyler on Poshmark. I actually sold a white one that we are out of stock in. So I messaged the buyer and said, is it okay if we send a silver one that is the exact same model? They said that's perfectly fine as long as it's genuine InStyler. So we'll send this one out. And yeah, these things move so fast. I love finding them. I sold these cross pens on Poshmark for $22. I got them for $8 off of First Class Treasures from Rad Relics. So I'll definitely make About $8, doubling my money. Good stuff. Definitely worth flipping these. I love finding these vintage pens. I got this broken iPod out of a bulk buyout for $5. Sold it for $22 plus shipping on Poshmark. This took over 6 months to sell. It is cracked, and the buyer knows that. It's for parts and repair. Sold this original GameCube power supply on Poshmark for $21 plus shipping. I got this along with a few controllers and a PlayStation 3 for $35. So I'll say my cost of goods into this is $3. Sold this Fitbit Inspire 3 on Poshmark. I got this out of a eBay buyout for probably $1.25. Sold very quickly for a good profit. If you guys can see this behind here, I sold this Nespresso little coffee thing. There's also a base to it. Let me grab that. Awesome camera angles for you guys here. This only sold for $16 on Poshmark. I got it for $5 at the thrift store. Not making a huge dollar amount on it, but it sold in under 2 weeks. I got these Disney Princess Little Mermaids. I think there's 4 of them in here, all for $2 plus $1 in shipping on First Class Treasures. Just sold this little bundle for $20 plus shipping on Mercari.